Uh-oh. Not sure if still live or not. Are we live on YouTube? Somebody let me know in the comments if we're live on YouTube, please. There we go.
Yay!
Okay, we're back. Internet
Awesome.
problems. And like you asked me at the beginning, can we edit the episode? We can definitely edit on the podcasting end, but for the video feed, it's just live, man. You got to roll with the punches. Part of it.
Oh well, it happens.
Yeah. So talking about enjoying the delicacies of life, having fun, having a few drinks, kicking back type stuff. Like, did you ever become like super spiritual or almost become like a monk type deal and kind of push that stuff away? I mean, incorporating that for me has been like big, huge, right? Have you ever had to deal with that?
Actually, yes. And it's interesting because, in our culture and depending on your family, if that's part of the social structure of family, without the negative side of, true alcoholism, where it's really a problem,
Yeah.
it can be challenging because there really is nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of the earth. It's about balance. And I did go through a time where I was very, spirits here, likes to blink my lights in my in my office. But so I did go in college. I did have 6 months where I was extremely ascetic. I cut out everything. I was also a pretty regular smoker, heavy smoker. Had quit cigarettes, quit everything, and to deal with my stuff. So one thing I want to say about that is, in the beginning, if you are really looking to spiritually awaken, it's hugely important to cut out that stuff in the beginning and to show yourself that you can live without it and find joy without it. I find that's very important. And I went through that a couple of different times. The next time was strict vegetarian, vegan for many years. And then there was spans in that where there was absolutely no partying, no nothing. And I really needed to come home to myself. So
Yeah.
anytime I would do anything like that, it was like leaving myself behind. And I knew that's the energy I was doing it with. So if you know you're numbing, if you know it's to deal with your problems and you don't know how else to find joy, that's something to question. And that's just for good balance. But if it's in celebration and it's because you're enjoying the taste that goes with the meal and you're going to have a nice time with your friends within moderation, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. And I certainly enjoy wine myself, but I make sure I watch it. And if it's ever something that feels like, oh, it's something I need in my life, or I can't say, like,
Yeah.
that's important to look at that. And I've asked Spirit about that many times because of the teachings that always say you need to be completely free of all that stuff. Again, when you're awakening and setting your path straight and really finding your truth, it's really good. And if you know that you're on it and you can bring it back in moderation, know that what Spirit would tell me is, know that as long as it is in celebration and not in coping, then you're on your path.
Yeah, that's good.
And so that's something that I advise everyone to ask. I ask myself, and I stay in that, because one thing I've noticed with all of that stuff, and this came up when you were starting the question before Zoom went down, is when we repress that stuff, as we see with the priest and all the scandals that are becoming very open now, which don't surprise me at all. I just always knew this stuff was going on. You can feel it. You can feel the weirdness around things. But repression of those human desires, like strict repression, causes it to come out in the shadows. Energetically, we are made of dark and light. We're made of, kind of that clear space and that filled space of stuff. And if we say we're just going to stay clear completely, the stuff's going to want to come in. And it's not necessarily because it's evil or because it's the devil. It's because we're humans, and there's things to play with. There's things to explore. There's pleasures to be had. And the difference is mistaking your connection to the divine through those things. So your promotions, money, buzzing, sex, whatever it is, looking great. If you cannot find your peace and you can't find your connection to God without that stuff, yeah, that's a problem. If not, then play with it, enjoy it. Colette Baron Reed is a reader that I look to. She's kind of a hero of mine, and she always says, be in the world, but not of the world,
Yeah.
and wear the world like a loose garment. And I love that kind of visual that, yep, I'm playing, I'm enjoying life, but I'm not identified with it. I think that's where the word sin comes in, that we mistake
Yeah.
earthly things for God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. That's deep because I think a lot of people do that. I think I've done that. I mean, we're just
Yeah.
trying to we're
Me
trying to
too.
learn. We're trying to figure it all out. So
Hmm.
we really don't have that person there, which I think we have them there when we're looking for them now, and we have the Spirit with us, that which is the best teacher, right? Who's going to lead us to different people, lead us to podcasts, lead us to documentaries, videos, whatever we need to kind of teach us through everything around us, through the burning bush, through the speaking donkey, through the writing on the wall, the used things that are in our lives to teach us, and that's the best thing ever. But like understanding what sin is, or what what I'm saying, the world is, or what is secular, what is not of God, or whatever the case is. And so there's this weird notion there in Christendom that it's like, if it's not Christianity, then it's demonic, or if it's not in the Bible, then it's demonic type deal. And so because there's these translations of world that is worldly, so it's not of God, which is not the case of what sin is. When we were trying to break that stuff down, what it really means it's essentially what you said, like addictions, like the things that are killing you, the things that you feel like you can't live without. And a lot of times you can feel that setting in. I know I do, and my wife does. It's like you can feel it saying, okay, do we need this? Do we, becoming a habit. If it is, let's break it. Don't give anything power
Yeah.
over you. And you know what I'm saying, can you quit? And that's the thing. For us, we're aware of that, we're conscious of that. I've done my own healing. I started young too, so I guess I have that what I'm saying, advantage over just, I guess, a lot of people. But we'll go out drinking with friends, and we still have those friends who are drinking to forget. Like, hey, what are you doing, man? It's like pills. Like, oh, hold on, you're out of line. What's going on? Like, we're just gonna drink. We're gonna have dinner and have a drink. You're ordering like all this stuff, and we have those friends that still do that. And I'm like, man, this guy, he's got a lot of childhood wounds and hurt that I know these people personally. That, man, that's why you're doing that. And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, just because it's a liberty to us to go out and do that, not everybody can do that. Some people, if you give them that first drink, they're gonna spiral out. I know
Hmm.
people personally, they're gonna start eating the pills. They're gonna try to smoke crack, like crazy stuff. Like, really, one drink led you to go smoke crack for the night. Like, it's really weird. And it's just, that's the healing we're talking about. That's why you need healing. There's a lot of people like that. And
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, you have to know yourself and know your triggers. And if you're not healed and you have that going on, still know yourself and know what it's going to lead you to do. It's going to trigger you, and you're going to spiral out. You got to know yourself, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes, just like illnesses come to people to teach them to walk in faith, sometimes people have that addiction as their lifetime illness, and so it's something they walk with all the time. And
Yeah,
it's
that's deep
really
too.
important to know that, yeah, like that's there with me. Like, I'm gonna have to deal with that. For me, it's food. I was 90 pounds overweight, so I have to watch it when I'm eating. I love the good cooking. I love going out to eat. I love,
Yeah.
and then I'll notice, oh, the pounds are creeping up, and it's not a vanity thing. It's like, oh, I'm doing that thing again. I'm not taking care
Yeah.
of my body temple, and that doesn't feel good anymore. Before, it was numbing, so it felt better than my pain. Now I feel good. So if I'm starting to feel sluggish, or I feel I don't have energy, it's just like, it's all about how I'm feeling. And the same thing with any kind of celebrational stuff. So it's important to know when you're staying in balance, and it's about staying conscious.
Hmm.
Making a choice consciously. I'm doing this because of this.
Yeah.
Not just because I don't know what else to do, or because I'm in so much pain. And then also to forgive the self if that does happen. I think if there's anybody out there listening that says, oh my gosh, that's me, like, be kind to yourself, because that's something that will perpetuate the illness. Is, you feel shame, so you cover up the shame. And it's important to seek the light with that too. I think I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. It's deep, man, because you're talking about like some people are gonna have to deal with some stuff their whole life. Like you may not never get over a certain thing. There's always gonna be that thing there that might trigger you, and I don't think there's really rules to it. You know what I'm saying? To actually know what that is. From the Christian perspective, and I've been on this journey of just trying to like wrap my mind around this because like there's just two thoughts. Evangelical Christians are like walking in miracles and power and signs and wonders and things like that, and healed and healed from everything in your life, cancer, character defects, anything you can think of to be healed from it, a broken leg, anything, and they believe that anything negative is a demon or it's demonic or whatever the case is, and so understanding now, like of reading the Bible for even for a frame of reference, is that like these demons or ailments come into our life for a reason. Like they were sent to teach us something. That's biblical from Genesis to Revelation. Most of Christendom don't, teach that or believe it. But it's biblical. And so of trying to like rationalize, okay, which demons do we cast out and which demons do we learn from type deal as well, right? To actually figure out what's going on with our lives. And you said that some of those things we're going to have to deal with for a while. I mean, we look at the Apostle Paul, he talks about like the thorn in the flesh, that he had this ailment, this thing that was messing with him, and he sought God in prayer and fasting on 3 special occasions that God would take it away. And it says God wouldn't take it away, and just says, my grace is enough. My grace is sufficient. You know what? And it's like, you know what? That thing might not ever leave, but like, will you still follow God? Will you still do the right thing even though it's there? So trying to figure out, people are like, coming to us to pray for them or to do energy healing, get this out of my life. Like, hold on. God's trying to teach you something. Sometimes that's a scary thing to try to wrap your mind around, that God is the one behind some of the discomforting things in your life, right?
That's an awesome point. And yeah, this is a great conversation because I've looked at this a lot, and in my world, we talk about medical intuition as well, where you're looking at the chakra system and finding why certain illnesses are related to how you're living your life or what's going on internally that's creating an internal environment. And in that world of thinking, just like in the biblical world or the Christian world of thinking that's a demon, it's like people get very blameful of themselves. Like, oh, why did I create this? Or what's wrong with me? Why can't I get it right? And it's like illness after illness coming on, especially when it's chronic and it's unsolvable, or, doctors don't know what to do and people are suffering. A lot of time it is a spiritual reason, and it is about walking in faith. It is about self-care and taking care of the body temple differently. And for me, I guess my big affliction in life, it's good to boil it down to an emotion or an emotional journey, because if you have addiction, if you have whatever if you have chronic cancer, or you have something that is always coming back in your life, like what's the emotion that it triggers in you that makes you want to either just say, screw it, I'm just going to do, be a bad person or do whatever I want, or not believe anymore, and, kind of sink into the lower vibes, whatever that is. For me, it was grief. When I go back, that was my ground zero. I loved my dad, and I was 6 years old. So it was like every loss that occurred after that brought me back to that 6-year-old girl that was grieving. So any anger that I had, any frustrations, any lack of acceptance, all that ego stuff, would come back, and I'd deal with, and I could finally kind of zoom back and look at it as an observer and say, well, wow, this is the same feeling coming back over and over again every time there's a loss in my life. It doesn't mean I have to tumble into the depths every time it happens. I can take it and take care of myself better, go into prayer, go into my energy work, and really, now I'm the patient, or now I'm the one that needs the healing, and just honor that we're never done. We're always working on growing in our wisdom. And that is the time, those dark nights of the soul are the times that the footprints poem, well, why is there only one footprint when I was having the worst time of my life? Well, that's when I carried you. And I truly believe that about being walking with the Holy Spirit, that in the times that are the hardest, those are the times I'm most grateful for in my life now, because that's why I'm so strong in belief that I'm connected all the time. And
Yeah.
so I'm having a good day, I'm like, awesome, the day's that much more amazing. And when I'm having a hard time, I'm like, I can handle this, and
Yeah.
I can help other people handle stuff.
Yeah, I found myself triggering some people and kind of getting into a Facebook debate, which I thought I was delivered from, but somebody posted and said, thank God for all the beautiful things and all the awesome things in your life and the good things, and and I replied and said, thank him for the bad things too. Oh, no, 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 I'm not gonna thank God for the bad. It was like, what, really? He's like, what I'm saying, my mind is so renewed, I just understand that everything is God. All is God. The good, the bad, the ugly, the questions, the doubt, all of it. It's all God. So you're gonna thank God for His good stuff, or you're like, what I'm saying, thank Him. Like the cliche. It's easy to praise God when all things are going good for you, or you're gonna shake your fist at God when things aren't going your way. That's when it matters, right? Do you still have that faith? Are you still walking in integrity when nobody's looking? When things aren't what I'm saying, going great for you, but understanding the sovereignty of God about it all is, the Spirit is responsible for all of it. There's no place you can go, nothing that happens that doesn't have to like ask for permission almost to, what I'm saying, to come into your life to teach you. You know what I'm saying? You're
Mhm.
loved. You know what I'm saying? You're like guarded by a supernatural force, which we call God or spirit or whatever. That's good. It's you know what I'm saying? So all of it. Some
Yeah,
people, it's so weird. It's like a disconnect there for a lot of people. Maybe it's just a religious thing, but I'm
it's
thankful for all of it at this point.
yeah. I think it's a journey to get there, and we're all kind of uncovering different puzzle pieces at different times.
Yeah,
And as another teacher said to me once, so we're all at different places in the fog about it, right?
yeah,
So it's like we can see clearly one way, and then someone else sees this other way, and that we put all the pieces together. And a place where my spirituality kind of came together through different religious teachings, because I definitely gravitate toward the Eastern thought, Taoism and Buddhism. I love Christ consciousness. And Christianity is wonderful. I totally respect it. I don't choose to go to church, but I understand the scriptures. I understand that
hmm
kind of conscience building that is important in the Christian faith. And some others I've read, Wiccan and Native American spirituality, Earth Magic. Oops, knocking my screen. But where it all comes together for me is that we are all channels. So we have personalities, like I'm Molly, you're Derek, you're TruthSeekah, but we have different personalities that are at first glance very different. But when we really go into the egolessness of who we are, that void, we're like containers for life force energy. So, and in that life force energy is God energy and earth energy. So and each other's energy. So we're all just cycling through it all the time. And again, when we think too hard about it, or we start judging, or we start fearing, that's when we get tripped up and we can't hear our intuition, we can't hear the guidance, we can't hear the peace. And that helps me kind of get through that little thing. Like, yes, all the bad things were important, and the good, and I can enjoy the good things so much more because of them.
yeah.
I think that's important, and I'm just a channel. So that's my only prayer is thank you for making me a channel of your grace. And I just add the words as needed: clarity, healing, wisdom, whatever it is. I just affirm it, and no matter what's happening, I'm a channel for that in whatever situation I'm in, and that's just been really helpful for me to affirm that connection all the time.
That's awesome, Molly. I enjoyed this conversation, this interview. You do private sessions with people. You do energy work. All of that beautiful stuff, help people, assist with healing, all of that good stuff that we've been talking about. If people need help, they can hit you up. Go ahead and share your website and where people can get in contact with you. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, thanks. So you can find me at mollymaccartney.com. I do private readings and energy healing at a distance, and here in near Orlando, Florida. And I also have my Wisdom School. You can find that at empoweredwisdomschool.com. That's where my online course is to teach you how to develop your own intuition and to get in touch with your inner channel of light. And you can work one-on-one with me along with the course, or just take the course by itself. So that's mollymaccartney.com and empoweredwisdomschool.com.
Molly, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll have to do it again. I enjoyed it so much. Let's do it
Me
again.
too. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, my friend.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. Molly MacCartney. Enjoyed it. Got in some good conversations, some good dialogue, talking about the spirit realm, spirits, how they operate. And I've kind of dedicated my life into studying the spirit realm, how it works, how it operates, you know, on every level. I mean, I've done the work on the negative side, like I've been there, you know, as a misguided teen. So now I'm kind of journeying through the light and understanding how it works and how it benefits us. And like I said, I think essentially we're all playing a game, the game called life, and there's rules to this game. There's universal law. Most of us don't even know these things or whatever. So understanding the spirit realm, how spirits operate, how we operate our body, our thoughts, intention, all of that things kind of changes the experience that we have here and can help others, right? Really good talking about the demons, man, talking about the darkness that we've all dealt with and deal with. Like when we're going through it, it's very hard. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. We, want to be delivered from the darkness. We want to be pulled out of it. We want to be brought to a better place. But the beauty is when, we can look in hindsight and and thank God for it. And maybe the beauty is when you're going through it, you thank God for it, right? I mean, there's that too. There's the inward knowing, like eventually you know that you're going to be taken care of. You know that you're not going to be forsaken. You know, that type of understanding. So I guess whenever you're going through it, not to panic, not to freak out, which we talk about, just trust God, because this soon shall pass. We look at Job, we look at it, which is, a story full of symbols for our life, and we've all been through similar situations or will. But it's about not freaking out. It's about not panicking. Like I said, we all can thank God when things are going great. And I've done it. I know many of you guys have. I know you guys. I know many of y'all have too. You just in this place where everything's going good. You're on that mountaintop and you're just rejoicing in the spirit. And then something happens and it just tilts you. And then the next day you're freaking out, panicking. So you were just on this mountain, this holy hill with God, and then the next day you're panicking, freaking out, don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's about like trying to find balance in that. That's not balancing. That's a teeter-totter, man. I think we're supposed to be in the middle somewhere in this really good ground that we can operate on both ends of the spectrum. I think that's where we're supposed to be. And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of trials and testing and just the inward knowing that you don't freak out. Stop freaking out. Tell yourself, man. Because I don't think that the good, I don't think that the bad stuff's ever all gonna go away, right? People talk about like having these addictions, and like Molly was talking about, there's some things that we may take to the grave with us. We may never overcome a certain area in our life, but it's there for a reason. Like, and we can look at a bunch of different stuff. A lot of people are like addicted to pornography and they just can't overcome it. You know what I'm saying? They're just asking God to take it away. They get so, they beat themselves up when they look at something like that, or whether it's getting drunk or getting in an argument or whatever the case is. You have these character defects and these things, these addictions that you don't like about yourself that you want to stop. And people beg God to take it away, which we've all been there. But I really think that the whole worshiping God and giving glory back to the Creator is the fact that even though you have that stuff going on, you still worship God. You're still thankful. If He just took that desire or temptation away, like instantly, Maybe eventually it'll go away. But like right now, when you're dealing with it, you're dealing with it for a reason. You're dealing with it because you're still feeding it, right? You're still feeding it. And it's going to continue to grow. The more you feed it, it's going to continue to grow. You have to choose. Part of that choosing is the worship. Am I going to fulfill the lust of the flesh, or am I going to worship God? It's like, you know what? That stuff, it's the lust of the flesh. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good when you do it. It makes you feel good when you go through it. When you participate. The Bible says sin is fun for a season. Sin is fun for a season. So it makes you feel good. You get this instant gratification, which is demonic anyway. Instant, you know what I'm saying? Instant gratification, what I've been studying and coming to, it's not good. Taking ecstasy pills to automatically adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin released in you're like for no reason at all, you're feeling amazing. You have to work at that stuff. You have to work to feel amazing. You have to eat right to feel amazing. You have to be a good person and get good awesome healthy friendships around you to feel good. Like there's no shortcuts, and all of these shortcuts are not good for you by any means. And that's the same thing with the addictions, or with the pornography, or the drinking, or whatever the drugs that give you an instant gratification. That could be smoking cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes is an instant release. Instant, oh, I just had a hell of a day. Oh my God. And you take that puff. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, nicotine. Ooh, yeah. Instant, free. God, it's killing you. It's not good. Instant gratification. You have to work at this stuff, man. It's deep. It gets really deep. Thank you, Manly P. Hall, for opening my eyes to that. We talk about like living your dreams, and I really do feel like everyone should be able to live their dream. Everyone should be able to get to do with the things that they love for a living. I think that everyone deserves to be in healthy relationships. I think that, but you don't deserve anything. You deserve what you work for. How do you deserve it more than the person beside you who's actually putting in work and they're outperforming you, right? Because they care about it and they're feeding it and they're staying diligent. So you just deserve it just because you're entitled. You have to work for that stuff. If you work for it, yeah, you deserve it. You get it. You earn it. You want a good marriage? You want a good relationship with a spouse? You got to do things. You have to feed it. You have to grow it. You want power in the spirit? You want authority over spirits? Show self-control. Start doing stuff, man. Adam Starseed Bay says, praying and meditation is key in one's life, in one's daily life, becoming your own personal self-healer and dealing with the shadows of the past and present within one's life. True. It's a daily walk. We're not handed anything. It's easy to get complacent. It's easy to get comfortable. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Don't never get there, man. It's a weird place. I say don't never get there. Don't ever quit trying, man. Don't ever give up. Don't ever take anything for granted. And never say never. Don't take nothing for granted. Never say never. Thank you, Justin Bieber. Never say never. Look. It's a trip, man. Testing. You create what you want. Hard work pays off. I'm going to continue to say it. You know, you have to build it, man. If you build it, they will come. Do it. Got a bone to pick with somebody on my public platform. Bone to pick with somebody. I'm not going to call this person's name out, which I've talked about this person in the past, but this is the part. I'm not going to even, I don't know. The overbearing fans. This is for you. Ask yourself, am I an overbearing fan? Social media is very weird. It gives you access to people and relationships that you might not need, or whatever the case is. Are you an overbearing fan? And I've talked about this, like, and I'm talking about somebody in particular, probably not you guys, but it's one person. I've talked about this person in the past. This woman keeps calling my phone, professing her undying love to me. This lady left me like 25 voicemail messages this weekend. Woman, if you're listening, stop calling my phone. I got her number blocked, but it still sends her the voicemail. Man, listen, stop it. You're crazy. You're a crazy person. Stop harassing me. You are an overbearing fan. My wife has to deal with that. My wife has to put up with that. The crazy people, delusional people, like crazy. I messed around and this lady hit me up. Shoot, man, this been like 3-4 years ago now. This lady hit me up, talking about she can help me book guests and send like emails for the podcast, and I needed help with that. So there was some people who were fans commenting on all my stuff. I messed around and gave this lady my phone number and talked to her about, you know what I'm saying, potentially helping me with the podcast. This is like 4 years ago. And then she's just been professing her undying love. She knows I'm married. She knows I'm happy. Like, I haven't entertained it by any means. I've told her stay away, and these people keep coming. I know it comes with the territory, but don't be an overbearing fan. I'm happily married. I love my wife. There's been a bunch of weird scenarios that happen. Friends, their wives will hit me up, profess their undying love to me. They get my phone number out of their husband's phone, and they'll text me about their undying love and dreams and fantasies. Crazy, demonic stuff, man. I'm happily married. If that's you and you're thinking about doing that, please don't do it to me. These other artists, they don't want you doing it to them too. I know I'm a regular person at the end of the day. May have some influence, may make good music. I think I do. But that doesn't give you the right to do that, man. But then, you know, it's the overbearing fans. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not wanted. Don't be an overbearing fan. But these people are delusional. Like, they need psychiatric help. They really do. Like, 'cause they get into some weird stuff. Not just me. Trust me. I've heard stories over the years of pastors, you know, dealing with that, and the spiritual leaders dealing with that, and these women who profess their undying love to the pastor, and God told me I'm supposed to be with you. God told me that you're my wife. God told me your husband. It's like, well, he told me something different because I'm happily married. Adam Starseed Bay says the Spirit's testing you, brother. It's not a test for me. It's a test for my wife. Definitely a test for my wife. My wife has to deal with that, to know that her husband is being petitioned by these women all the time. I don't. Chris said, give me her number. I got this. You know what? I thought about getting the number and sending it to you guys in Discord and say, you know what, give her a taste of her own medicine, man. And just letting all of you guys call her. Call these people up. I had to get myself, though. That's the troll in me coming out. You know what I'm saying? Christy folks. They fall in love with the persona and become obsessed. Fanatic is what Aaron Fowler says. Man, I believe it, Aaron. I really do. And I think they see that, what in church we would say, they see the God in you. It's not you, it's the God in you. It's the holiness. It's what you represent. You're a leader. You have prestige and renown. Adam says you're being tested, brother. I say, like I said, my wife's being tested. We're all going to be tested. You're going to be tested too, Adam. You're trying to go out there on the front lines, and you're going to get better at it, and you're going to get an audience, and lonely women out there are going to watch you and stuff, and they're going to try to hit you up. You're married, happily married with kids and stuff as well. I passed the test. I'm passing the test. We have other people out there. I can go down a long list. I've been in ministry or been in the church realm for a long time, and I know ministers who have fallen. They didn't pass the test. They traded their wife in that they've been with for 20 years, 25 years. They traded her in with a younger looking version. A younger version came along. You done had 3, 4 kids with her. She's put on some weight. You still have your charisma. And then the first time you're petitioned by a younger woman, you fall away. I don't like that. If you're a married man, like, that's weak. You're not a spiritual leader in my book. You got to deal with that, man. They're going to come. They're going to come. And I'm like, and sometimes it's the crazy women, and sometimes it's the crazy dudes. Like, I get crazy messages all the time. And like, and after these interactions on Facebook and stuff, like, I wonder like how long I'm going to be on social media, man. Like, I can't deal with that every day. Like, you need to be talking to a publicist or a booking agent or something, man. Some of these people, golly. And I like what Illuminati Congo said some time ago. He said, if you have an artist or rapper and you love them and you love the art and what they create and what they bring to the table, leave them alone and let them create. Like, stay out of their inbox. I love encouraging messages. I love challenging messages. But when you just, man, there's etiquette to be used. The overbearing fan. And I wonder if I would have been an overbearing fan at some point. Like, I wonder, like, years ago, if I would have had my favorite rapper's phone number. Or years ago, if I would have had Jonathan Davis's personal cell phone. How many texts would I have sent him 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever? How many texts would I have sent Jonathan Davis? Dogs are like barking at the door, really weird. I feel like I might have been an overbearing fan at some point. It's about using etiquette, man. And don't, like, if you honor somebody's word, let them create, man. Like I said, I'm not saying don't contact me, but if you're on some weird stuff, stay away, please. I don't have time for it. I have like so much stuff that I'm doing right now. That's a PSA. It's gonna come to everyone, especially anyone who seeks a public platform, or you're out there in front of the people. Politicians it happens to everybody, but you got to pass the test, man. Don't, if you're building with somebody you've been building for years and y'all are in love, man, don't let the next hard body woman, the first time you get petitioned, you fall. I know many men who have fell in the churches, in spirituality, Facebook ministries. Start getting a little fame, a little renown. This stuff could be easily taken away from you. And you have to pass the test. You're going to be tested. You have to understand that it could be taken away. So I understand that. I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for the platform. I'm thankful that I have an audience, that I'm helping people. I know my calling. I know who I am. But I mean, instantly, man, there's things that you can do that'll take that away, or take the anointing away, man. You know what I'm saying? The power in your voice. Take it away. And you still showing up. You still going live. You still trying. But there's no anointing. You still talking, but your words are falling upon deaf ears. There's things that you can do to lose that. You got to balance it. Balance those chakras, man. Balance the energy. Understand that everything you're doing physically has spiritual implications. Go to God, man. Get alone with God. Find out what you're supposed to be doing and do it. Whatever that is. Now, people in the chat are begging me to send you this lady's phone number. I'm not gonna do it. I have to go, man. These dogs are freaking out trying to get in this room. I don't know what's happening. Something's going on. I think they're hungry or something. But with that, I'm gonna say peace and shalom. I enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys did too. Really enjoyed it. If you'd like to support, if you're not yet a patron, you're missing out. Definitely. My full discography of music, everything that we've been talking about in this episode, I have in song formats. So there's songs about all of this stuff. There's songs about spirits in the middle of the night. There's songs about intuition and astral traveling, all of that cool stuff. Head on over to patreon.com/TruthSeekah and sign up for any level of giving. You get access to my entire discography of music, which is like 10 plus albums and all that good stuff. And you get access to Thursday Night School of the Mystics too. Come hang out with us there. With that, yeah, that'll pretty much do it. I'm going to say peace and shalom. I think I covered everything. You guys are asking about the mug. Got these awesome mugs in for those of you guys watching on video. If you're not, I have TruthSeekah mugs available, which I think they're pretty cool. TruthSeekah.com. Go there. Click on the mug. It helps support the show as well. All different ways of giving. Everything is in the description of these videos and podcasts. So if you'd like to support, you're like, man, I wanna help you. There's tons of things you could do financially to help. You can get merch. You can get all kind of cool stuff. And then even if you don't have any money, there's ways you can help as well. Look in the description of this video. So with that, I'm gonna say peace and shalom. I love you guys, and we'll do it again. Oh, one more rant. One more rant. I got another rant for you guys. These things that are getting under my skin. Okay. I talked about a couple weeks ago that I was supposed to be doing a concert in Mississippi. I was supposed to be doing a concert. The guy, I told him my guarantee to come out, how much I would charge. Wasn't a lot. I worked with the guy in the past doing some stuff. And something happened, and he guaranteed me the money. We made the flyer. I put it out on all my social media, sent out all the email lists, blah, blah, blah. We're looking forward to this concert, working on the set list, got other people lined up to go with me. 2 weeks before the event, the guy messages me and says, hey, we had a fallout with some of the other artists on there. This dude, like, I think his wife beat up the other artist. Okay, that's the fallout. Weird Mississippi stuff, guys. His wife beat up one of the other artists. But they dropped off, husband and wife duo that was going to be performing. Anyway, so now it was just me and my buddy, Justin Caldwell, who's going to be performing with me. Dude hits me up 2 weeks before, told me that those artists fell off and that he wasn't going to be able to pay me the guarantee to come out. Well, I still do it. Just do it on love. We're friends, whatever. I said, I can't. Like, I'm doing this full time. I'd have to pay out of my pocket to come and perform and blah, blah, blah. And it's a long drive for me. I can't do it, bro. He said, okay, well, we'll just reschedule. We'll get you in October and I'll pay you the money. I'll have the money up front, which he already told me he had the money up front. Anyway, we'll reschedule. Cool. All right. So they, they were going to cancel the show, but Justin and his uncle were going to go out there and perform anyway. So they made a new flyer. They started promoting it. My mom lives in Louisiana. She's driving through to come visit. She happens to be driving from Louisiana to Alabama. She's going through Mississippi. She's listening to the radio the week of the concert. TruthSeekah performing live in concert, blah, 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 blah. They doing commercials on the radio that I'm still going to be there. And I canceled it, told him, I tried to send out on my social media, hey, and I found out, man, I was like, I contacted the guy, I said, bro, you can't be doing that. Like, you got to let these people know I'm not coming. Oh, I'm sorry, man. They just had an old flyer, whatever. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe it was deceitful. I don't know. Anyway, but I was still being promoted as being at that concert. And come to find out, I don't know who it was. My sincerest apologies if you're listening. I don't know who it was, but I heard that there were people there who showed up to see me. People who drove an hour and a half to this little hole in the wall in Mississippi to see TruthSeekah perform, and I wasn't there. Definitely wasn't my fault. I'm sorry that happened. Please don't hold it against me. Thank you for coming out and driving that far to see me. It really means a lot. There will be more. We're going to be planning some more stuff. Get connected with what I'm doing, just to I definitely say follow me on social media, just in case anything like that happens and we cancel shows or something. I didn't send out an email. I just, and I think this is maybe the first or second time I'm talking about canceling the shows. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, whoever drove out there. But that upset me, man, that they were still promoting the show like I was going to be there. And people did drive an hour and a half. They did that to me one time. We went to an Under Oath concert, and we drove an hour to go see Under Oath. We were so looking forward to it. Drove to Pensacola, Florida. It's an hour for us because Under Oath was going to be there. We get there, and there's a sign on the door, Under Oath will not be with us tonight. They had van issues. I'm like, man, I wonder how long they knew Under Oath wasn't going to be on this bill. And this was early days of Under Oath, guys, if anybody knows what it is. You know, we still stayed and seen the other bands, and we made the best of it. But, I mean, we wouldn't have won if Under Oath wasn't playing. And I wonder, like, there's been a lot of stuff in the past where, like, these people will FouseyTube, one of the who at one point was one of the largest YouTubers out there, most popular, FouseyTube. If you guys know who that is, I have a teenage daughter, so I know who FouseyTube is. He used to do prank videos and stuff. But anyway, he just threw an event, rented out a building, and just went on some weird law of attraction stuff. Rented out the Greek Palace Theater in California and just said that Drake was going to show up. Started promoting that Drake was going to be there. Hadn't talked to Drake. He was on like some universal law and the secret stuff, you know. He just kept saying it over and over and telling people he's promoting Drake's going to be there. Drake wasn't nowhere around. They didn't have anybody show up. A couple YouTubers hanging out, you know. And that's something that's happened a lot in the past that I've heard of, like people finding out that they've been promoting that this artist was going to be at their concert and then that nobody's even heard about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. So again, I'm sorry if whoever that was. Contact me. Let me know who you were, man. I'll send you some merch out or something like that. Make it up to you. But we will be doing some more shows here. I know we're going to do another house show over at Justin's mom, Deborah's house, which is where I had my album release party. We had a lot of fun that night. People drove from all over the country to come in. So we're going to do that again. Have a good time with that. We're supposed to be going to Tallahassee as well. We'll be talking about that event coming up pretty soon. As soon as like there's like official stuff. Nothing's official, but it's supposed to be September 22nd. But as soon as like there's an official flyer and event created, I think it's just like word of the mouth right now. But I'm supposed to be performing at that. So with all that being said, man, thank you guys for the support. Patreon.com/TruthSeekah, and we'll make it happen. Home Sauce says it gets real when husbands start confessing their love. Oh yeah, right. I've got those guys out there too. I've got those guys. It's crazy. I'm not bragging. I don't want it. I rebuke it in Jesus' name. I don't want it. Chris Barr says Justin's house when. We want to probably shoot for early November. I want to say early November. We'll make it happen, G. With peace, with love and understanding. I love you guys. Peace be upon you. And we'll do it again very soon. Got another show coming up Thursday. So, peace and shalom.
Your way so much higher than mine. So much higher than mine. So much deeper than mine. So much deeper than mine.
Well, that does it for this episode, folks. To hear more episodes of the TruthSeekah podcast, head over to TruthSeekah.com. And if you're wanting to support the show and get rewards, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/TruthSeekah.